We are in Tzipori. Tzipori in the Roman period becomes the capital of the north of Israel, which is a very important piece of land even in the perspective of the Romans, not because of the religious reasons, but because of the location. Israel in general connects through three major continents: Asia, Africa, and Europe. Therefore, Tzipori sits on one of the branches of the most important roads of the ancient world, connecting Egypt through the valleys of northern Israel to Syria and the rest of Mesopotamia. Therefore, Tzipori is located in the right place as far as the physical location. The other three elements that an ancient urban society requires also exist here. A good supply, reliable supply of water, either from the rain or from a natural spring that is nearby, enough to get the water into the city. Great soil for the growth of agriculture produce. And last but not least, a hilltop that you can defend yourself from. Okay? We're going to embark on that hill a bit later. For that reason, the city of Tzipori gets built as the capital of the north. Later on in time, it's going to become the most significant city for the Jewish community in a very specific moment in time. Okay? So as it starts developing in the Roman period, the city actually develops on the hilltop itself and in the city center. We're a little bit off of that. And why? Because we came to the Jewish neighborhood of after the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. The Jewish community is not allowed to be living in Jerusalem anymore. And the leadership of the Jewish nation starts moving from Jewish settlement to Jewish settlement for a period of a few years. In the beginning, in the lowlands of Judea, not far from Rehovot, in a place called Yavne. Okay? And then later on, as the Roman, the Roman Empire pushes out the Jewish community from the lowlands of Judea after a second war that the Jews had with the Romans in the 2nd century, the entire Jewish community moves into the north. And though it is an active Roman capital city, the Romans allowed the Jewish community to revive here to such an extent that we are sitting in a synagogue that is maintained throughout the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th centuries, okay? And is built just off of the main street that is called the Kardot that we were just standing on outside. Does that make any sense? It shouldn't. But one of the things that happened over the course of those years is that Judaism, the same group of people that revolted twice over the course of 100 years, less than 100 years, against the Roman Empire, shamed itself enough to allow the Romans to understand that the Jews will stop revolting against the Romans. And maybe in this synagogue specifically, the leader, Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi, who wrote the Mishnah, which is basically the initial protocol of Jewish laws applied on everyday lives from the concepts of the Bible that were written here in Tzipori back in the 2nd century. Here he takes the biblical concept and takes them to a simple reality that people could live by, considering that they don't have King David ruling the land anymore, but they are living under the foreign Roman government. And those laws were so carefully portrayed that the Romans even allowed the revive of an official synagogue built off of the main Kardo in that moment in time. Okay?
Can I add something from you? All right, I'll take it from here.
forget their background, but they